Bob Hutchins.
Buzztown Radio. Buzztown Radio. Buzztown Radio.
Good afternoon, welcome along to Soul on Saturday here on Buzzdown Radio. Had a little bit of a technical issue when we started, but all working now, hopefully, yes. Oh dear me, sometimes these things happen, don't they? Well, good afternoon, welcome. Hope you're having a fabulous weekend. I've got 2 hours of brilliant soul music for you, so let's get going, shall we? Gonna kick off this afternoon with Jimmy Jones. 39, 21, 40, Shape. Buzzdown Radio, that was the Artistics for you there, and Nothing But Heartaches in brackets Keep Haunting Me, which was released on Brunswick Records in November 1967, arranged by Sonny Sanders, produced by Carl Davis and composed by Bernard Reed and Carl Davis. There was no UK issue of that one. And before that we opened with Jimmy Jones and 39, 21, 40 Shape, an A-side on Bell Records from August 1967, composed by Norman Johnson, who of course did the original with The Showman. Welcome along to Soul on Saturday. I'd also like to say good afternoon to listeners on Keep the Faith Internet Radio, who are also taking this stream today. Good morning it is to Michael Cortorano over there in Cleveland, Ohio, and good afternoon to Woozle down in Arundel. On your radio, you're listening to
Buzztown Radio. Buzztown Radio. Buzztown Radio.
So many years ago now, but you were born on this day. It's a happy birthday to you from Buzztown Radio.
Well, every Saturday, if we've got them, we celebrate anyone that was from the soul world that was born on this day, and then in hour two we remember anyone that passed on this day. Well, we've got one of each, one in the first hour, one birth, and one passing in the second hour. So, born on this day, 18th of October 1938, it was Ronnie Bright from the Coasters, an American rhythm and blues rock vocal group who scored the 1958 US number one single Yakety Yak, the 59 US number 2 and UK number 6 single Charlie Brown, as well as Youngblood and Poison Ivy, of course. Ronnie Bright also did session work for artists such as Barry Mann, Jackie Wilson and Peter Gabriel. There's quite a mix for you, isn't it? And we sadly lost Ronnie on the 26th of November 2015 at the age of 77. So let's have a Coasters tune, shall we? Born on this day tune for you there. That was Zing Went the Strings of My Heart from the Coasters, B-side to their hit Yakety Yak, released on Atco Records, 30th of April 1958 even, composed by James F. Hanley. UK edition released on London Records in the July of that year. What a great double-sider, eh? Yakety Yak on one end and Zing on the B-side. Doesn't get much better than that. Good afternoon to Ted Jackson in Hornchurch. Nice to have you along, Ted. Here's on your radio. You're listening to
Bob Hutchins, Soul on Saturday, great soul music live on Buzztown Radio, Buzztown Radio, Buzztown Radio, Buzztown Radio.
This is Johnny Moore on Buzztown Radio. Call it what you wanna. In brackets, I call it love. Buzztown Radio, that was Johnny Moore and Call It What You Wanna, in brackets, I call it love. Released as an A-side on Chi City Records from 1968, produced by Jack Daniels and Johnny Moore, composed by Jack Daniels and Bonnie Thompson. No UK issue of that. Good afternoon to Catacombs Mick, he loves Johnny Moore, he says, and also good afternoon to Anna Coley. Yes, Anna, I do take requests, so if there's any soul record that you would like played, and if I've got it on the system, I will be more than happy to do that for you. Here's Ruby and the Wonders, and Don't You Do It. Ruby and the Wonders for you there. Don't You Do It, released on Norma Records from 1968, composed by Willie Northall. Some funny names knocking about this afternoon. You're listening to Soul on Saturday here on Buzztown Radio. Welcome along. And yeah, sometimes the technology just plays out a little bit, doesn't necessarily do what you want it to do. And this afternoon, yeah, I just want to do things not quite doing what they're supposed to here in the studio. Anna, I will get that tune lined up for you. That's great. As I say, if anyone does want a request, just pop it on the chat, and if I've got it, of course, I'll play it. Right, this is
Buzztown Radio.
Yeah, Buzztown Radio. That was Jerry Naylor and City Lights, which the strange thing is that turned out to, or officially was the B-side. It was the B-side to a song called Life, released on Tower Records in October 1965, composed by Harley Hatcher. As I say, but Life, that was on the A-side, actually was supposed to have been the B-side on Tower 162, but the radio stations preferred Life to City Lights, and so it became the A-side with City Lights on the flip. Not quite sure why, because there's certainly nothing wrong with City Lights. It's an absolute cracking tune. Good afternoon to Buzztown Radio station owner Johnny Murph, hard at work in the photographic shop in Milton Keynes. Welcome along to all the staff and customers in there. Now we've got a request for Anna Coley. She's asked for Martha and the Vandellas, Dancing in the Street. 61 years old, and it still sounds as good now as the day it was released. Martha and the Vandellas, Dancing in the Street, released on Gordy Records on the 31st of July 1964, produced by William Stevenson, composed by Marvin Gaye and William Stevenson. Billboard magazine reviewed it 15th of August 1964. It entered the Billboard Hot 100 on the 22nd of August and reached number 2, number 8 on the Billboard R&B chart. Over here in the UK, Tamla Motown label hadn't been invented yet, and it was released on Stateside Records on the 9th of October 1964. Melody Maker did its review on the 10th of October, and it reached number 28 at the time. It didn't quite make the top 20, did it? Which often back then was all you heard on the radio was top 20, and of course no Radio 1, so it was down to the pirate stations and all that to play these tunes. It reached 28 on the 9th of December 1964. It spent 8 weeks in the UK Top 100, entered on the 4th of November at 46, and final placing 2 days before Christmas at 48. So of those 8 weeks, 6 of them were in the top 40. Big thank you to Anna Coley for requesting that one.
Our legends on Buzztown Radio.
Get ready to dance. Here's our modern room twosome.
Starting with Florence Trapp, Love Came Into My Life. Florence Trapp here on Buzztown Radio, and Love Came Into My Life, which was an A-side release on You and I Records in the United States from 1974. Produced by Johnny Trapp, probably her husband, I expect, or brother, I don't know. Composed by Victor Hall and Robert Ray Barnes. Copyrighted on the 2nd of August 1974. This is Buzztown Radio. Let's have our second one. It's Johnny Bristol, Waiting on Love. There you go, the fabulous Johnny Bristol and Waiting on Love, released on Atlantic Records in March of 1978. Arranged by Johnny Bristol, Hence Powell and Sonny Burke. Produced and composed by Johnny Bristol himself. Like to say, well, probably good morning over there to IAAM Radio. It's all about the music from GA. Welcome to the show. I will follow you back after the show. Nice to have you tuned in. You're listening to
Buzztown Radio.
Buzztown Radio weather. Buzztown Radio weather. Buzztown Radio weather. Buzztown Radio weather. Buzztown.
So the weather for this afternoon and evening for Leighton Buzzard and the surrounding area. It's going to be overcast with a high of 15 degrees centigrade, feeling more like 12 though. Winds coming from a southeasterly direction at 9 miles per hour with gusts of up to 18. UV is low, pollution is low, but humidity pretty high today, 75%. Sunset is at 18:02. Overnight it's going to be partly cloudy, 9 degrees centigrade, and then sunrise tomorrow 07:33. It's going to be cloudy, changing to light rain by late morning with a high of 15 degrees centigrade, but only feeling like 11. Winds tomorrow coming from a south-southeast direction at 16 miles per hour with gusts of up to 30. Sunset tomorrow is 18-15. For the week ahead, Monday, heavy rain, 15. Tuesday, partly cloudy, changing to sunny intervals by late morning, also 15. Wednesday, partly cloudy, changing to sunny intervals by late morning, 14. Thursday, sunny intervals, changing to cloudy by late morning, 13. And on Friday, it's going to start cloudy, changing to sunny intervals by lunchtime with a high of just 12 degrees centigrade. That's your weather for Leighton Buzzard and the surrounding districts.
Now, back to the music.
Here's the ad-libs and Think of Me. There you go, the ad-libs for you there from November 1966. It was called Think of Me, an A-side on Karen Records, produced by Ollie McLaughlin, composed by John Taylor and Sid Shaw. Billboard and Record World both reviewed it on the 19th of November. Just coming up to 20 minutes to the hour of 3 o'clock here on Buzztown Radio. Time for some Sam Reno Golden Strings. This is Joy Road. That was San Remo Golden Strings here on Soul on Saturday with Joy Road, which was the B-side to Festival Time. Came out on Rick Tick Records January 1966. And then, of course, because Motown bought out Rick Tick, it was reissued on the Gordy label on the 6th of April the following year. You're listening to
Bob Orchins on Buzztown Radio.
Ain't no place like Motown. Listen while we play.
time for Motown Double Play. Sometimes it drops one, and it did there. So we're going to kick off with Bobby Taylor, Grandma's Hands. Bill Withers' song, of course. That's the first of our Motown double play. Bobby Taylor there, Grandma's Hands, his cover of the Bill Withers song, of course. Now it's track 18 on CD2 from an album released in the UK called The Motown Anthology for Bobby Taylor, released on the 1st of May 2006, a double CD. That one, absolute. I love that version of Bobby Taylor's, must admit. Okay, on for the second one, and it's another Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. This is Taking My Love, in open and closed brackets, and Leaving Me. Martha Reeves and the Vandellas there, Taking My Love and Leaving Me, an A-side on Gordy Records from the 14th of August 1969, produced by George Gordy, arranged by Paul Reiser and composed by Alan Storey and Jorge Gordy. Jorge being another name that George Gordy used. Billboard magazine reviewed it 30th of August 69, and it entered Billboard's bubbling underchart on the 13th of September, reaching number 102. No UK issue. I'd like to say good afternoon to fellow presenter on Buzztown Radio, Chris James. Chris does the 80s and 90s shows here on the station. Also, good afternoon to Dave Bransgrove down in Newquay, and Soulful Sue over in Kettering. You're listening to Buzztown Radio. Got another request, yes, another one for the same person as last time. In fact, I got three more to play for you for Anna Coley, and they're all Motown, so you're going to love them all. And well, here's the Isley Brothers. Go as requested, the Isley Brothers, and This Old Heart of Mine in brackets is Weak for You, composed by Holland Dozier and Holland plus Sylvia Moy. That's just one of three that Anna Coley has requested for this afternoon, and that went down very, very well with Woozle. Now, if you're stuck for something to do tonight, just down the road there's an event of which I'll be DJing at.
Harpenden Soul Club presents a fantastic evening of Northern Soul and classic Motown on Saturday the 18th of October 2025 from 7:30 p.m. until midnight. Great wooden dance floor and all music played on original record releases. Your DJs for the evening are Alan Fox, Bob Hutchins, Sean Haywood, David Sanders and Andy Bebbington. So, come and join us at Bennett's Club, 21 Leighton Road, Harpenden, AL5 2HU. Priced at just £6 on the door.
Yeah, promises to be a great event, and of course only half an hour down the road from Leighton Buzzard, so if you're looking for something to do tonight, come on down, and if you do, come up and say hi. Always great to meet people that listen to Buzztown Radio. It is Buzztown Radio.
Serving Leighton, Buzzard, Dunstable, and the surrounding villages. This is Buzztown Radio.
Patty Austin, Only All the Time. There you go, Patty Austin and, excuse me, Only All the Time. It was the B-side to Oh How I Need You, Joe, released on Coral Records in April of 1967, composed by Jerome Lewis, Jackson and Ray Fox. Get one more in for this first hour. It's the Eternal Flame, Happiness in My Heart. Finishing off hour one, Eternal Flames and Happiness in My Heart. Viva Records from October 67, arranged and composed by Glenn D. Harding.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here's another hour of great soul music on Buzztown Radio with Bob H.
Bob Hutchins on Buzztown Radio.
So welcome back to Soul on Saturday here on Buzztown Radio. Another hour of great soul music. We've got some more, a couple of tunes coming up for Anna Coley. Good afternoon to Butty up there in Scotland. And yeah, I've never heard, I've got that song, well, I don't know whether it's the same song, Ted, but I've got a couple of songs called The Message on the system, but I've got nothing, only one tune by that artist, so and it's not one called The Message, so I'll try and remember it and get a copy of it. Right, let's get going with our two. Here's the Millionaires. You've Got to Love Your Baby. Buzztown Radio, that was the Millionaires. You've Got to Love Your Baby, which was the B-side to A Good Love Is Worth Waiting For, released by Castle Records 1969, composed by Robert Lee Rusin and Charles Y. Clark. Rob Rusin, of course, Robert Lee Rusin. I forget the name of the group now that he was in, but I know he requested his own song from me during lockdown. Tell you, as you get older, the old brain starts to forget things, doesn't it? Yeah, who am I? Right, well, that was copyrighted 25th of September 1967. Well, I couldn't play the first one for Ted, but I can play the second one. Laurie Burton, Gotta Make You Love Me. you go, as requested by Ted Jackson. That was Laurie Burton and Got to Make You Love Me. Track 1 from the A-side of their album Breakout, released on Mercury Records in 1967. Arranged by Leroy Glover, produced and composed by Laurie Burton and Pam Sawyer. Well, can you hear them? Yes, those whispers. They're getting louder. That was Jackie Wilson here on Buzztown Radio with Whispers Getting Louder, released on Brunswick Records as the A-side in August of 1966. Arrangement was done by Sonny Sanders, but the chorus and orchestra was directed by Gerald Sims, producer Carl Davis, composed by Barbara Acklin and David Scott. Cashbox reviewed it 27th of August 1966. It entered Billboard's Hot 100 on the 15th of October and peaked at number 11, peaking at number 5 on the Billboard R&B chart. UK issue of that was released by Coral Records 4th of November 66 and reviewed the following day by Record Mirror. Another request coming up now for Anna Coley. Bit of Jimmy Ruffin for you. What a classic tune. Jimmy Ruffin, of course, there from 1966. What Becomes of the Broken Hearted, composed by James Dean, William Weatherspoon and Paul Reiser. So we've now had some great classic Motown requested by Anna, and we've still got one more to come. I'm not going to tell you what it is, other than tell you it's from the Four Tops, my all-time favourite Motown band, of course. This is...
This is Buzztown Radio.
On the anniversary of your passing, we're keeping your music alive on Buzztown Radio. Oh yeah, on Buzztown Radio.
So it was unfortunate that on this day, 18th of October 1994, we lost tenor saxophonist Lee Allen, who lost his battle with cancer in Los Angeles, California at the age of 68. He was a prominent rock and roll session musician. His sax playing could be heard anywhere from Little Richard's Tutti Frutti to Fats Domino's I'm Walking to Etta James's Tough Lover. His own instrumental, Walking with Mr. Lee, released by Ember Records, was a minor hit in 1958. I wonder what that sounded like. Well, here it is. I tell you what, as far as R&B instrumentals go, they don't get much better than that from the 1950s, do they? That was Lee Allen and his band, Walking with Mr. Lee, which came out on Ember Records in November of 1957, composed by Lee Allen himself. The UK issue of that didn't credit the band, it just had Lee Allen as the artist on his Master's Voice Records, released in February of 1958. Now, got a treat coming up for you all on the 1st of November. Listeners on Buzztown Radio, who you see, you may have often heard me say at the start of the show, also good afternoon to listeners of Keep the Faith Internet Radio who are taking this stream this afternoon. Now, the reason when that happens is because the presenter on that station, who's a very good friend of mine, he travels around the country DJing, and he also travels around the country to events that he's not DJing as well. He's a real passionate Northern Soulie. On the 1st of November, he's coming down to Chesham Northern Soul Club on the Friday, where he's DJing. And so he'll be staying local to here. So he's coming into the studio with me on the 1st of November. So Soul on Saturday here on Buzztown Radio is going to have a vinyl-only show, double-decking, me and Mr. Paul Fradley. Cameras will be set up. You can see it all at Buzztown Radio on Mixcloud. And of course, if you want information about all the shows on Buzztown Radio, the web address is www.buzztownradio.co.uk. Believe it or not, it's not just soul music. It's only me that plays that. Yeah, there's everything. 80s, 90s, disco, stuff I've never heard of. There's even some couple of comedy shows, I believe, on the station as well. So do head on over to our website, have a look, and you can also catch up with those shows on Mixcloud if you miss them anyway.
Buzztown Radio.
This is Fluffy Falana and My Little Cottage by the Sea. Buzztown Radio, Fluffy Falana and My Little Cottage in open and closed brackets by the Sea, released on Alpha Records in September of 1967 as the B-side to Hangover from Love, produced and composed by Robert L. in brackets Bobby Martin. Here's the Invincibles now, So Much Love. You're listening to Soul on Saturday with me, Bob Hutchins. Welcome along. That was the Invincibles and So Much Love, B-side to Can't Win on Loma Records from March of 1966. Producers were Hal Wynn and Joseph Hooven, and it was composed by Clifton Knight, Dave Richardson and Lester Johnson. On your radio, you're listening to
Bob Hutchins, Soul on Saturday, great soul music live on Buzztown Radio, Buzztown Radio, Buzztown Radio, Buzztown Radio.
3:25. This is Hollywood Flames and Dance Senorita. Hollywood Flames here on Buzztown Radio and Dance Senorita, an A-side on Symbol Records, produced by Juggy Murray-Jones, J.J. Jackson and Sidney Barnes, arranged by J.J. Jackson and composed by John Berry, released in 1965. Candy and the Kisses next. This is the 81. Candy and the Kisses and the 81, A-side on Cameo Records from October 64, arranged by Jimmy Wisner, produced by Jerry Ross, who co-composed it with Kenny Gamble. Billboard and Cashbox both reviewed it 10th of October, and the UK edition came out on the 8th of January 1965, the following year on Cameo Parkway Records. Don't forget, we've still got another request in the show to come for Anna Coley, but first we've got two from the Modern Room.
Great soul every Saturday on Buzztown Radio.
Get ready to dance. Here's our Modern Room twosome.
Starting with Barbara Lynn and Trying to Love 2. 2 as in the number. Yeah, the lady with the electric blues guitar held in the left hand, of course. Barbara Lynn and Trying to Love 2, an A-side on Ichiban Records from 1988, produced by Gary B.B. Coleman and composed by William Bell and Paul Mitchell. It's quite unusual actually to play something that Barbara Lynn is singing but didn't compose herself. Yeah, great artist. Born January 16th, 1942. Barbara Lynn Ozen was her birth name. Eventually became Barbara Lynn Cumby. There you go. Here's a big one, big favourite of mine. I know it's a big favourite of Fradda's. Special delivery, This Kind of Love. This is Buzztown Radio.
You're the only lover I need.
Yeah, I must admit I do like that. Special delivery and This Kind of Love, an A-side on Shield Records from November 1978. Arranged by Clay Robinson, produced by George Parker and composed by Chet Fortune, Nick Mann and Bill Bird. Bird? No, Beard. One's got whiskers on it, of course. Right, Michael over in Cleveland. Yes, I do. I'll stick it on after Anna's second one. Okay, you're listening to Buzztown Radio.
Bob Hutchins on Buzztown Radio. Buzztown Radio weather.
So, recap of the weather for this afternoon and this evening here in Leighton Buzzard and the surrounding villages. It's overcast today with a high of 15 degrees centigrade. Feels more like 12 though. Winds coming from a southeasterly direction at 9 miles per hour with gusts of anything up to 18. UV is low, pollution is low, but humidity is high, 75%. Your sun sets tonight at 2 minutes past 6. Overnight it's going to be partly cloudy, 9 degrees centigrade, and then sunrise tomorrow at 07:33. It's going to be a cloudy start to the day, changing to light rain though by late morning. High of 15 degrees centigrade, but it won't feel any warmer than 11. Winds coming in from a south-southeast direction at 16 miles per hour with gusts of anything up to 30. Sunset tomorrow, 6:15. Monday, heavy rain, 15. Tuesday, partly cloudy, changing to sunny intervals by late morning, 15. Wednesday, partly cloudy, changing to sunny intervals by late morning, 14. Thursday, sunny intervals, changing to cloudy by late morning, 13. And then Friday, the coldest day of the week, cloudy, changing to sunny intervals by lunchtime, just 12 degrees centigrade. That's your weather for Leighton Buzzard and the surrounding areas here on Buzztown Radio.
Now, back to the music.
Go, the Larks for you there, and The Skate, released on Jerk Records from December 1966, composed by Don Julian, and the national release on Money label came out in May of 1967 with the side switch. The Skate was the B-side and Come Back Baby on the national release was the A-side. Funny enough, Money label version sells for £65. The OVO version isn't even listed on Discogs, so must be even harder to find. Okay, time for some requests. First one is from Anna, and the second one from Michael Cortorano in Cleveland, Ohio. Yeah, Motown doesn't come much better than the Four Tops, does it? That's definitely a tune in my box. I can't help myself. The Four Tops, released on Motown Records in 1965. A Holland Dozier Holland composition. Yeah, what a great... we had some fabulous requests there from Anna this afternoon. And yeah, got some great requests hopefully again next week. Who knows? Anyway, this one going out to Michael Cortorano in Cleveland, Ohio. Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, I Don't Blame You at All. Smokey Robinson and the Miracles there from 1971 with Smokey's own composition, I Don't Blame You at All. Well, those two requests lead us nicely into the two tunes that I picked for the Motown double play here on Buzztown Radio.
Buzztown Radio.
Ain't no place like Motown. Listen while we play.
And by pure coincidence, the first one of my picks is The Miracles, Going to a Go-Go. Down Radio, that was The Miracles there, and Going to a Go-Go, released on Tamla Records on the 6th of December 1965, produced by Warren Moore and Smokey Robinson, composed by Marvin Tarplin, Robert Rogers, William Robinson, Smokey of course, and Warren Moore. Billboard magazine reviewed it 18th of December 65, and it entered the Billboard Hot 100 in the December, reaching number 11. January the 1st, it entered Billboard's R&B chart and reached number 2. UK edition, TMG 547, released 4th of February 66, didn't quite make the top 40 over here, peaking at number 44. But let me just tell you about another great show that's coming up today on Buzztown Radio. 6 o'clock, it's Solid Gold 60s with legendary DJ Jeff Dorset. Always a great show. If you love your 60s music, then that's 6 o'clock here on Buzztown Radio. Final Motown tune, and likely to be our final tune of this week's show, is JJ Barnes, The House That Jack Built. Another of those fantastic Motown tunes that never got released back in the day. That was J.J. Barnes, The House That Jack Built. It was track 2 on CD 2 from the album A Cellar Full of Motown Volume 4. Part of, as I say, there was 5 volumes in total. The last one came out about 3 years ago. And yeah, some cracking unreleased tunes on them. That particular version, Volume 4, came out on the 31st of August 2010. Producer of the song was Richard Morris, and it was composed by J.J. Barnes himself and producer Richard Morris. Well, sadly, we've come to the end of another Soul on Saturday. My thanks to everybody that's tuned in this afternoon. Always fabulous to get new listeners on board. So nice to see you, Anna, and IAM Radio. Thank you very much for tuning in today. I'll be back next Saturday at the same time to do it all over again. Enjoy the rest of the weekend and have a great week ahead. And I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.
Soul on Saturday was a Bob Hutchins radio production for Buzztown Radio.